What's going on, guys? In this video I'm going to talk about common mistakes tourists make when traveling to Montenegro. More specifically, I'm talking about 8 things that you need to know before traveling to Montenegro. This is like a part 2 of the first video I did where I was talking a little bit about mistakes that tourists normally make going into Montenegro, that I made personally going into Montenegro, like my first time, my first trip to Montenegro. It's very important because I got a lot of amazing comments, so thank you guys, and wanting to know a little bit more about my trip in Montenegro. So I figured in this video I'll go elaborate a little bit more and really dive into 8 things that you must know before visiting Montenegro. Stay to the end of the video because the 8th one is very important. It's one that you 100% have to know and have to avoid. Montenegro, one thing, this is not the 8, but firstly I'll start with, if you want to explore Montenegro, renting a car is 100% hands down cheapest way of doing it, right? But what you should 100% not do, you can do if you want to, but especially if you go into the peak times, which is June, July, and August, peak, and I'm talking about peak, it's crazy busy peak, right? You're going to be in traffic, there's loads of tourists and loads of people, right? Don't forget, not only tourists come from all over the world to Montenegro, locals are coming from different parts of Montenegro to the coastal part of Montenegro, so it's going to be packed. So if you do rent a car, I 100% recommend renting a car in Montenegro itself. So fly into Montenegro directly. What I did is I flew to Dubrovnik, which is obviously in Croatia, and it's on the border of Montenegro. Croatia is, right? So I flew into Montenegro, rented a car, then drove into Montenegro. It was great. It's a great drive, but there's loads of things I wish I knew. If you're new to the channel, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit the like button too. One, is crazy flipping busy. I'm talking about crazy busy. So everyone is either driving in and out of Montenegro. So the drive time from Dubrovnik to where I was staying in Budva was an hour and a half. It took me 4 hours. So think about the traffic and sitting in the car for 4 hours. So you have to bear that in mind. Also, you have to pay extra, which I'm going to go into a little bit more at the end of the video. You got to pay for cross-country crossing. So if you're going from Croatia into Montenegro, you have to pay. You have to get a green card, and you have to. I paid at my rental company. They charged me for it, and it was like 60 euros, something like that. Again, too, I'll talk about that. So if you did off-peak where the drive is nice, it's less cars, less traffic, it's a beautiful drive, and I recommend doing that. But in peak time, do not do it. Anyway, so going into the first thing you should know, currency and payments, right? In Montenegro, they use euros. They're not in the EU, but they use euros everywhere. They don't have their own money anymore. They use euros. So have euros. One thing you should 100% do is bring euros in cash. Not everywhere has wireless, and not everywhere accept cards, right? So especially if you go to small markets, small shops, realistically they'll only accept in cash. So having cash at hand is amazing. Most places I go to all over the world, I always have cash anyway. I just like to have cash with me, and it served me very well. So bring cash with you. So bring euros with you. They accept euros. Best time to visit, I talked about this in the previous video. Obviously, the best time to visit is not in peak summer. Do not do it. I went there in July, and it was crazy busy, crazy expensive. It was beautiful. It's a beautiful country. Amazing beaches, great food, great people, but it's busy as hell. You spend a lot of time in your car in traffic. You spend a lot of time in your car waiting to park, because if you have a car, you should park 100% only parking lots, parking areas, like parking lots. Do not park on the street because you can get fines. And if you've rented cars before, rent a car companies charge you. They don't even charge you. They just send it to the country, whoever does that, and they send it directly to your house, and they overcharge you, right? So parking lots, and you just put it. Bottom line is, you're spending a lot of time getting around in your car or on buses because it's super packed. So peak times, do not go there. The best time to visit Montenegro, which I'm going to do next time because I went in July, is spring and autumn. Amazing time. So spring, April ending of May. Once you hit June, it starts getting crazy busy. So I would say April, May. Autumn, amazing time, September and October. September was be the best time because it still be very hot. You can swim, boom, boom, boom. October. October, it's gonna start dropping in temperature, which is also really good, especially if you want to explore the entire country, less traffic. But it could start raining right in October. But still, autumn's an amazing time to go. Driving in the road conditions. Montenegro is a small European country, and the roads wherever went pretty much good. Like the main parts in the main city, like Puerto Rico, amazing. Some parts of the coastal parts, good, right? But when you start traveling in between the countries, in between small cities, the roads are horrible. So you have to remember that. Also, not big roads, very small roads. So driving is not the easiest. It's beautiful scenery wise, amazing, but it's not the easiest and not the safest, right? Best way to explore the country is 100% best way and cheapest way, rent a car. So if you fly into the airport, rent a car from the airport, done. It might be a little expensive renting a car, but trust me, it's going to save you in the long run because it's going to save you on bus tickets. It's going to save you time and effort. So just rent a car if you can drive. If you can't drive, then of course, again, getting around. There's not a lot of local transportation, just buses and coaches. That's how you get to main cities, or obviously taxis. So I'll talk a little bit about public transportation anyway. So driving conditions, rent a car, best way. Narrow roads, the roads ain't great, and remember, depending where you're going to, there's going to be tolls, so you always have to have, again, coins to pay for your tolls. And again, if you're parking, always park in parking lots. I parked every time in the parking lots. I'd make sure I paid in parking lots. I didn't want to get tickets. If you parked on the main street, you could get tickets. Language basics. I mean, Montenegro is great because, especially if you come from an English-speaking country, most people speak English, especially in the tourist areas. Unless, obviously, if you go into rural areas, it's going to be tough. But local area where the tourists are, in the capital, most people speak English, so you'll be fine. But it's always good to know a little bit of things. I'll give you two. Havala, meaning thank you. So you just got to be polite, right? And molin means please. Guys, my friends in Montenegro, how was my pronunciation? Was it good? Was it bad? Just let me know in the comments. Public transportation. Now, again, Montenegro is not very big. It's a small country, so there's not massive loads of transportation. There's no trains and nothing like that. There's buses. So if you're getting from city to city, main cities, you're gonna have to take a bus or coach, right? Similar, the big ones, right? Or taxis. Bear in mind, there's no Ubers and Bolts. They're not used out there, so you're gonna have to get like regular taxis. So again, that could run you a cheap amount, or it could be a lot. If you know locals, they can give you a good taxi company, then great. If not, you got to jump on a bus. Mind you, this is not like one of the European big cities, so it's going to be a little chaotic. Like my friend, I was trying to get a bus ticket back from Qatar back to Puerto Rico, and we tried to get it online. Then finally we got it online. Got her ticket online, but then she couldn't just jump on the bus. She had to come before, go to the reception. They had to check the paper. Then they're kind of backwards in a sense. No disrespect. So everything's not up to date. So like I said, getting around, if you can avoid public transportation, do it. But again, if you're on a budget travel trip, then getting on the coaches and stuff. Coaches not very expensive. Is getting to different main cities. So you could do that. Taxes would be a lot more expensive. Dress codes of religious sites. Remember, there's loads of churches and monasteries out there. They're pretty big religiously in that sense. So dress appropriate, right? Like, especially if you go in the summer, it's like super hot. So ladies, you're in your bikini and stuff. You can't go to church in your bikini. Think about it. Just use your brain, right? So you have to cover up. So days that you're gonna visit churches and monasteries, dress modestly, right? Cover up shoulders, don't have your butt out and stuff like that. Guys as well, you could probably get away with shorts, but again, with respect to put on pants, it's gonna be hot as hell. But definitely no white beaters or topless and stuff like that. Another one, again, for you tourists, the importance of not just exploring the coastal parts. And when I say exploring coastal parts, most people just go to Budva or Kota. Yeah, these are two amazing cities, and I've been there. Absolutely amazing cities or towns. Yeah, Montenegro is not very big, so town, I don't know, cities, I don't know. But both beautiful places. But again, the whole coastal line's amazing, and it's pretty longish, right? So you, again, if you have a car, just go a couple of days or even day trips and just go explore different parts. Montenegro is absolutely beautiful, and it's kind of all the little towns and stuff is kind of different. They have the little charm about it. So it's just explore, get out of just Budva and Kotor. There's different parts. Also, Montenegro is so diverse, especially if you guys are like hiking. There's many mountain terrains and stuff like that, so you can go hiking, stuff like that. When you go in it, like in the middle of the country, there's loads of mountains, hiking and stuff like that. So you could go and explore. There's lakes. You could do different things and go explore. So do not just stay in Budva and Kotor. Even both those places are amazing. Start moving around. Even Puerto Rico, which is the capital, absolutely beautiful. I spent an entire day there. I actually wish I spent more days there. Puerto Rico is actually beautiful as well. They got amazing lake out there as well. But lastly, this is, I got a lot of questions about this, the border crossing. Now the border crossing, you do not, like, let's say for instance you're coming from Dubrovnik into Montenegro. They did not charge you at the customs. Obviously, you need your, make sure if you have a car, you make sure you got your license and insurance for the car and your passport at hand, because they're gonna ask you for that. They're gonna stamp it. They got the customs officers actually stamp it like you're in the airport. But you did not charge you for crossing. But if you bring in a car from, so let's say Dubrovnik into Montenegro, so you bring in a car from Croatia into Montenegro, you're gonna charge. They're gonna check for a green card. You need a green card, which it's a green card insurance, which will cost you 15 to 30 euros at the customs office. Now, you can just get it. Like, I rented a car in Dubrovnik, like I said, in the airport, and they asked me, where am I going? I said, I'm going to Montenegro. So they, oh, well, you need the green card insurance. I was like, oh, here we go. Insurance companies, they always got this, that. You need this, you need this, you need that, you need a helmet, you need this. They're going to charge for everything. So I was like, man, come on. I wish I never said, but you do, because you remember you're changing countries. So you do need a green card insurance. Now, the rental companies charge me, and they generally will charge you a lot more, double, 60 euros. They charged me 60 euros. I was thinking, damn, that was a lot, but anyway, I didn't care. I just wanted to get in my car and leave. So 60 euros. Actually, what you should do is not get it from the the rental companies. Do not get it from the rental companies. Actually drive and get it at the customs. It might take you a little longer, obviously, but I mean, shit, you have the cash. You give them your passport, your driving license, your insurance of the car, and just give them the charge. They'll say, do you have your green card insurance? Now, and they'll charge you. It's between 50 to 30 euros. So if you want to save a little bit of money, you can get your green card insurance at the customs. Okay? I just want to say that a little bit because I had a couple questions of people asking me if they charge you for the customs crossings. Again, too, bear in mind, if you're driving from Croatia into Montenegro and you're doing it in the summer, be prepared and you just cancel off 4 to 5 hours of your time. And I'm not making this up. On the way into the country, I arrived into Dubrovnik at 2 p.m. I got my car at 3. It took me a little bit long. Actually, going through the airport was a breeze, but it took me a little longer to get my car because there was a dumbass in front of me. But anyway, by the time I got my car, I stopped at a little shop, put it in the GPS, my hotel in Budva. It says an hour and 30 minutes. I said, oh shit, this is a breeze. Got in the car. I did not get to my hotel until 4 hours later, right? It's pure manic. It's literally 2 roads, one going this way, going that way. So if you go on a busy time, it's going to be jam-packed, especially in the summer. Everybody's going in and out. On the way back, I had a flight at 1, or was it 12? It was 12. It was 1. I had a flight at 1. And I asked them at reception, what time you think I should leave? They said, give yourself about 3 hours. Right? So, again, my opinion, leaving Montenegro to Croatia wasn't as bad as coming in. Coming in was crazy. Going in wasn't as bad. It took me about 2.5 hours. Including a couple of stops for coffee and pee and stuff like that. So it took me about 2 hours 40 minutes from Montenegro for Kotor to Dubrovnik airport. But I'm just saying, just be safe. especially if you're going to catch a flight. Definitely be safe. So be safe and have 3 to 4 hours grace period for sure. And coming into the country, just have 4 hours grace period, just because you never know. So again, my last tip for you guys visiting Montenegro for first time is, especially if you drive, rent a car, but fly into Montenegro itself. Spend a little extra. I actually wish I spent a little bit more extra money and just flew in. But it wasn't even about the money with me. I think it was the routes. From London, it was just better flying into Dubrovnik. I had a lot more options, especially on my days. So you have to bear that in mind. Again, days that you travel, going into, especially Qatar is a small airport. Qatar, Puerto Rico, you can have a little bit more flights, more budget flights. I like to just fly from Heathrow. I flew from Heathrow and BA, so I don't like going to Stansted and Luton and all them stupid airports. So yeah, I just flew into Dubrovnik. So it depends what you're comfortable with flying, but I would 100% recommend, if I had to do it again, I would fly into the Montenegro itself and rent the car there. It's just going to be a lot calmer, a lot less of time, and it's just going to be less stress. Then you also don't have to pay for customs, your green card insurance, and extra excess fees. You know what I mean? It's just a lot less stressful, put it that way. So that would be my recommendation. I hope those things helped, and if it didn't help, hit that like button, and also comment and give me a thumbs up in the comments. You know what I mean? And your comments are always appreciated. And let me know if things I also need to add and I maybe missed, so we can help other travelers coming into Montenegro. But again, like I said, beautiful country. You 100% need to go visit. It's absolutely fantastic. But again, just summer peak times, try and avoid that. I hope this video helped again, and hit that smash that like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Till next time, peace.